my life, you know? And I started thinking that, you know, if I was, you know, stuck on a deserted island somewhere, or I was on, you know, in an abandoned desert, and I could only have a certain amount of music with me to last a lifetime, which songs or albums would I want, you know what I mean, to sort of juxtapose my life and all the moments of my life? And I came up with a list, and I want to share some with you. And what I really, it's so interesting to me, I'm always really intrigued by what other people listen to, you know what I mean? Because sometimes we get very, you know how you start to fall in love with a song and you get pissed off when the artist releases the song and they're playing it on the radio because you feel like that's my song and you don't want other people listening to it and you don't want other people hearing it because it's like something just special to you. So I'm very curious as to what some of your favorite songs are. What are the songs that have sort of soundtracked your life, you know what I mean? Like that defined those moments when you first fell in love, or when you first had your first kiss, or you know, when you left home for the first time and moved into your first apartment, or went away to school, you know, or when you were going through a tough period. For me, one of the toughest periods of my life was back in 2004, you know, before I graduated from college, and I was filming my senior thesis project. And while I was filming my senior thesis project, N.E.R.D released their second album, Fly or Die. Fly or Die became, for me, that it defined between March of 2004 and June 2004. When I was filming my senior thesis film, I had started dibbling, dabbling, and taking ecstasy pills. You know, me and my boyfriend had broken up for the third time. He moved out of our apartment. I had stuff at my parents' house, stuff at my apartment in Towson, stuff, you know, at a buddy of mine's house who I was staying with. I was living in 3 different places, and that album, every song just sort of defined that period for me. Like, it was fun, and it was a very exciting period, but it was also just filled with a bunch of drama. It was so discombobulated. Fly or Die still, to me, is an album that just defines everything, you know? Mary J. Blige's My Life. If you look into my life, you see what I see. Oh my gosh, that album, not only was it transitional for Mary, but it was so inspiring for me as well, you know? Like, I was a freshman in high school, I believe, a freshman or sophomore in high school, and that album to me is a classic R&B album. It's a type of album you can listen to from beginning to end, non-stop. You know, it sort of transcends you through different moods, different ideas. It really, it's something I listen to this day. When it's raining outside, when it's cold, when it's a Sunday and I'm just kind of just chill. My Life, from beginning to end, oh my God, every track is just so so definitive of the mood she was going through, all the trials and tribulations in life she was facing, and it speaks to me. One of my favorite artists, Lenny Kravitz, I know a lot of you are not familiar with his work. Lenny Kravitz, I discovered him at the age of 19 when I was going through my first real stage of depression. Well, my only life stage of depression. This is when I was really, you know, I had just started dating dudes, or, you know, whatever, and my family didn't know. You know, you guys watch my coming out story, so you know. Lenny Kravitz's mama said his album, my favorite song in the world is called It Ain't Over Till It's Over. In the song, he's talking about his breakup with Lisa Bonet, who he was married to and had Zoe, his first and only child, with. That song, literally, and my mother, my father, my sister can tell you, that's the song that literally picked me up out of the bed and allowed me to really go on with my life. He sings in the song, he says, "'Cause baby, it ain't over till it's over." If you have not heard it, download it. Lenny Kravitz, It Ain't Over Till It's Over. To this day, that song is my favorite song in life. Wherever I am, wherever I go, when I hear it, I stop. I stop, because it's just so definitive of a huge period in my life where I went from being desolate and miserable and sad, and then just sort of found a way, you know? And he did that for me. I discovered it while watching VH1 used to have a special called Behind the Music, and that's how I found the song, bought the album, and from then on I became an instant Lenny Kravitz fan. Aaliyah's third album, her last album before she passed away, I fell in love that summer of 2001. Rock the Boat, Loose Rap. I'm sick and tired of the loose rap. Oh my gosh. You know, that summer 2001 was one of, when I look back at my life, always will be one of the most prolific, one of the most profound, and I'll always remember Aaliyah's music, because I remember when she passed away that August and they had the funeral that September. I had gone to New York with a buddy of mine to see his family. He was very attached to Aaliyah, and I just remember us being in New York the weekend of her funeral and watching her casket, the glass casket, being strolled through the streets and everything else. It was just like so amazing. That period for me is just like, it's so clear. Pink, Misunderstood. Do y'all remember that? That came out 2001 when Burners first came out. Pink's Misunderstood is the first album I ever burned. That's the year that Burners came out. To me, to this day, that is Pink's best album. She has not topped it since. Misunderstood is her most commercially successful, her most critically successful. I will always, forever, ever love and appreciate Pink for Misunderstood. Like, I have such a long list here. Christina Aguilera, Stripped. Like, I can't think of anyone who can deny Christina's vocal prowess, her creativity, the style of that album, how every song sort of swings into the next. Once again, I don't think Christina has topped Stripped in the past, that came out in 2002, the past 7 years. I am looking forward to what she's gonna give us this summer, but honestly, like, I don't think anything has ever topped Stripped. Like, from beginning to end, every track, Christina, beautiful. What's my other favorite track? Impossible, produced by Alicia Keys. Loving Me For Me, oh my God, like, incredible. What else? Smokey Robinson's Quiet Storm, not the whole album, but you kiss me and suddenly that song reminds me of my father so much. Being a little boy riding in his long car, I forgot what kind of car it was, us leaving my grandmother's house in downtown Baltimore, riding uptown where we've lived in northwest Baltimore. That song reminds me of my father. Tina Marie, Out on a Limb, Portuguese Love. Tender was the kiss when you held me captive in your sweet embrace. Yes! Your lips, something burning, my heart beats faster than the normal pace. Phil Collins, In the Air of the Night. I can see you coming in the air of night. Ow! Hold on. Socialites and Celebrities, tell me, what are some of your favorite tracks that define your life, help you remember when you first fell in love, help you remember that day when you just, like, you know, got through a very hard and troubling period in your life? What are the songs that sort of soundtrack your relationships, your high school days? Remember TLC's Crazy Sexy Cool, Brandy's initial track, I Wanna Be Down, Baby, Best Friend, Broken Hearted, oh God, take me back. SWV, Love Will Be Right Here, Third Eye Blind. I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. You would captize up all the lies that you've been living in. R. Kelly, my body is calling for you. Seems like you're ready, just like you're ready to go all the way, all the way. Hit me up, I am your boy Zim Van Adams. I'll be back May 5th with all new videos. I'll see you guys then. I love you so much. Seems like you're ready.